My name is Sanal Edamaruku. I live in Finland, in Helsinki. By birth, I am coming from India. I was born in southern India, Kerala. Most of my life I was living in New Delhi. My passion and what I am known for, my activities for the spread of scientific attitude, the spirit of inquiry, especially in India, where the large majority of the people are superstitious, bound by traditions, and who are living in perpetual fear of the paranormal. I know how deeply superstitious India is and how big a population and the influence of these kind of things. It's 1.4 billion people now. So I found the importance of educating the Indian population to help. It's not really education. I want to get them thinking for themselves. So Indians have a tendency to believe in miracles, no matter what religion it is. He elaborated the whole thing. The first 3 minutes, I would start getting pain. And this pain will never leave me in my life. The ultimate pain a person can ever have, I will start getting. So then, after 3 minutes, I would collapse. Then it's not reversible. Next 3 minutes, I would die. It cannot be revived. I said, I accept the challenge. And I was only worried about two things. Number one, I discussed with the toxic experts. I was not afraid of magic, but he could use toxic stuff. Yeah, poison. He could simply use poison, maybe chloroform in front of my nose, and I would collapse. And for a moment, if I collapse, that's enough for him to show victory. So when we came to the place, I decided to sit at a different place, because not at the place officially set for me. I said no, I would sit there. Because I was making all these precautions. Then he had a long peacock feather. He wanted to show it in front of my nose. I said no, because I was afraid that he would use chloroform. And I had a toxic expert in the place who could give me anti-toxic medicines. They all started chanting these mantras and singing songs, and there's a fire made, mustard was thrown in. That's all the ritual. Then he made a dove of me, voodoo, and then make like a human figure, like a doll, and he wanted me to touch it. Okay, I touch it. Then he cut it with a knife, so my internal organs should degenerate then. And then some blood kind of thing comes out because he put some color apparently, and comes out of that. He said it's all getting damaged. Fear, that's what he was trying to sell. If I was believing in, the power of black magic, I would die just because of fear, and I could get a heart attack. That kind of an atmosphere he made, all sound, and it was really high drama.
Theater.
Real theater he made. Finally, when everything collapsed, there was a countdown going, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 1 minute, and it was all over. And all the journalists were hearing, and they all came to me, and I found him sitting in this little darkness. Because nobody cared for him at that time. Some televisions went to him, some journalists went to him and asked, what happened? Why did it? He said he has some protection powers, but he would die in 24 hours. Okay. The next 24 hours, some other journalist reached him, and he said 3 days he would die. By coincidence, if I had a heart attack, he would have made it. I was very careful not to make any accident or anything, because he would claim success. There was a church in Mumbai, mainly by the Goan migrants to Mumbai. They were running this church. There was a prayer going on when I reached there, and after that I was given the opportunity. Then I found it very easily. I went behind the wall and found that there was fresh algae growing, green algae growing on the backside of it. They found there was a clogged drainage pipe, which was going to the main drainage from the toilet. I collected a small sample and sent for chemical analysis. And later I got the result also before the evening television program. It was full of E. coli bacteria, much higher than human tolerance apparently. I mean, it's very clear that it's coming from the toilet. The Bishop of Mumbai telephoned the television studio and said that the program should be stopped because it's very, of course it was convincing, because every day 1,000 people visited this church to see this miracle. I mean, the next day onwards, there was not a single person visiting this holy place. The miracle was over. It's simply over from that night. The channel refused to stop it, rather invited the bishop to join the discussion. The bishop came to the discussion. And then there was a debate between the bishop and me. And on the fundamentals of the miracle mongering, I said, I mean, the whole problem is the miracle mongering of the Catholic Church. Because they need 2 miracles for anybody to become a saint. And they have 10,000 saints, which means they have sanctioned 20,000 miracles. And the common Catholics would look for miracles naturally. He was furious and he left the program. And later when I came out, I could not come out. The church has brought a lot of people with sticks to attack me, and they were waiting outside. And I could not really come out. I mean, it took 4 hours, and later some back door was open and I was taken out safely. The Finnish government cooperated. Of course, I got the visa very fast. They knew the situation and they helped me at that time. And I came to Helsinki, stayed for 2 weeks, went to Poland, had the lecture tour, and meantime, I knew the situation was very, very dangerous in India. I came with a return ticket, and the return ticket was extended and extended. Meantime, one of my colleagues in Maharashtra state was shot dead. So next 3 months, I cancelled my ticket then, because he was trying to, we were planning my return back, and he was one person in charge of my returning, and I mean, he was shot dead. He was on a morning walk. Somebody on a motorbike came and shot him dead. 2-3 months later, another person who was a former vice chancellor, he was shot dead. I mean, he was our national leader. And another person, I mean, three top leaders of our organization were shot dead. So then I decided to stay on. My father died early. My mother was ill. She was very old and she was dying. And she was very, very close and dear to me. And I mean, so my mother wanted to see me. It's a truce, a peace treaty for 4 days. They understand the language. I mean, what I wanted to say. So this guy said that, yes, I talked to the Archbishop and he agrees for that. We are very, very kind people. No problem. You make an apology, not this 4 days, but we can withdraw everything. But I have to make an apology for all I have done. And I said, that's not possible. That's not a deal. I mean, I took all the trouble because I don't want to apologize to anybody, because I stand by my principles. And you can correct me. You can convince me if I'm wrong. But you cannot force an apology from me. You don't get it. My mother died after 3-4 days and I couldn't see her. But she told my sister before dying, if he comes after apologizing to the Catholic Church, don't open the door for him. I don't want to see him. She was a very strong person. I mean, the whole world knows that India is moving very fast towards right and closer to becoming a Hindu Iran. I mean, when it happens, no one knows. So therefore, things are dangerous. That's the political vacuum in India. There is no secular alternative. The centrist party, Congress, is getting weaker and weaker. So the other alternative is the left, and left is not acceptable in mainstream India. It's a small group only. So there is no secular alternative. Nobody spoke about secularism in the last election. No single political party spoke about the challenges to secularism in the last election. So where is secular alternative? When there is no secular alternative and everybody is trying to be more Hindu than the other, because thinking that that's the trend in the country, there's a potential danger of India slowly slipping towards a Hindu state. See a lot of, articles everywhere, telling that you should not depend only on this modern medicine. There are people who are officially campaigning, organizers. There's a group of people called naturopaths. They believe that nature has a solution for everything. The virus is absolutely non-existing. There are people who speak about that publicly. This virus is a fake story. There is no virus. It's all for vaccine business. What we lack is in India, we have a lot of educated people. The literacy is going up. But the lack of medical literacy is unbelievably low. Very, very low. Very highly educated people are also medically illiterate in India. I have not gone to India, and I am living here, and I don't know when I will be able to go to India. Someday I would like to visit India, but it could be a death trap for me. That's what I'm afraid of. All my friends and everybody would suggest that if I go, they will use that opportunity to handle it.